Welcome, audience, to the Bookmaster Show. Now, I'm excited to get into this review because this is actually my favorite book so far. Out of all three of them, I like all three of them, but I think this one is just solid all around. Beautiful moments, just some of the best moments ever. Just beautiful moments. The Dursleys still suck. I don't know why I'm expecting anything great to come out of the Dursleys. The Dursleys still suck. I'm expecting some character development to come out of the Dursleys, but that's just nope. They're still so terrible towards Harry, and it's and long story short, we're gonna get the Dursleys to kick off the book again in the next one. Um, Now for the Grim, I didn't really understand the whole point of that. I didn't like the concept going into the book, but come to find out later in the book that it's not a Grim. It's it's Black. And further into the review, I'm gonna talk about Black because he's a great character and he has some very beautiful moments. The Dementors going into the train with Harry, I think the Dementors are a great concept, and just the look of them, how I imagine them in my brain, they look so dope and so amazing, and I think the Dementors are a great concept. And speaking of the Dementors, that actually introduces Lupin, Professor Lupin, the next new character, and he's actually my second favorite character. Hermione is still number one because Hermione is the goat of goats. Anyway, Lupin is such a great character. How the Dementors came in, and then Lupin's sleeping the whole time. The Dementors come in, and then Lupin's just like waves his wand, and the Dementors just like, you got it. I'm gonna back up. You got it. So I actually thought Lupin was going to be a bad guy throughout reading the whole book, and then come to find out he wasn't, and I was just like, this is great. This is awesome. Yes, I have another character to look forward to. I mean, a bunch of the characters are great, but I always have like a list of favorite characters when I get into some fiction, and Lupin is up there with Hermione. Not close at all because Hermione, like I said, is coded, but Lupin's pretty great. And going into the new school year with Trelawney, I don't know how to pronounce her name, with all like the fortune telling and whatnot. I think that was a downfall of the book. I think with Trelawney, it was just a snooze fest for me. Every time that class came up, I was just like, and then I would wake up and be like, oh yeah, I'm reading. No, I'm just kidding. But it was very boring, and I didn't like it. And that was another thing with that book or with that class. I mean, with Trelawney, it also brought out some more aspects for Hermione as to why I like her, because Hermione puts in to all this work to be the best in her class and such a great witch or mage, and she gets into this class and she finds out hard work doesn't pay off. You have to be born with this talent. And I don't blame Hermione. She's a great character because of her hard work, and she gets to this class and it's just nope, hard work doesn't pay off here, and I can feel for her. And then when Black the rumors of Black and everything started popping up, um I just had a feeling that Black wasn't a bad guy. And then as I'm strolling around through Barnes and Noble, I see some through the Harry Potter section. I see some wands. Like I've said, I've never seen the movies. I'll probably watch them after the books, but I see some wands and I see Black, and he just looks like a smiling guy, and he looks happy, and I'm just like, yeah, he's not a bad guy, and he's not a bad guy. Later on, he's not a bad guy, and the build up to the Quidditch Cup was so great. The build up for the Quidditch Cup with Wood, he wants to win the Quidditch Cup. He's graduating this year. This is his last chance. And then I'm with him. I'm with the Gryffindors. I'm like, come on, you gotta win this. You gotta win this. This is his only chance. And the build up for that. And as I'm reading the finals for the Quidditch Cup, I'm just like, come on, you got to win. And I actually thought that they weren't going to win, and I was freaking out. And they won. That was the most beautiful moment in the series at the time until you get to the end. But at that moment, that might be my favorite moment. Maybe not the most beautiful moment because I teared up. There were some tears through this book. This book made me tear up plenty of times. But that was definitely probably my favorite moment when they won the Quidditch Cup. And I feel like after that, the Quidditch competitions aren't going to be the same because they're just not going to live up. I might be wrong, but the Quidditch matches just aren't going to live up to that. The Quidditch Cup was just the most beautiful moment. And I just want to talk about the skipping towards the end when they win the House Cup. I feel like at this point, Gryffindor winning the House Cup is just like, meh. It's they won again, and then we just move on. It's not as beautiful. I feel like the Quidditch matches, even if they don't win another Quidditch Cup, I don't think it's going to be the same. That moment was just absolutely beautiful for me. I loved it. It's great. And then Pettigrew towards the end, I did not expect that. I mean, I could understand if some people expected that. I knew Black wasn't a bad guy, but I really did not expect Pettigrew to just come out as Ron's rat. I was thrown for a loop. I was completely shocked. I was And another thing that I liked about Hermione is when she picked out her pet going back towards the beginning of the Diagon Alley, I think is what it's called. Uh, Correct me if I'm wrong. When she picked out her pet, I'm a huge cat person, and Hermione picked out a cat, and I was just like, yes. But yeah, her Ron's rat being the main villain of the book. The main villain sucked, but the book itself, the story was great. The main villain definitely threw me for a loop. And then Lupin being a werewolf definitely threw me for a loop. Like that came completely out of nowhere. I mean, I knew something was up with Lupin. Like, why is he always sick? Huh, maybe he has a disease, a curse, or something. Well, he definitely had a curse, and it was a werewolf. But Hermione knew about that. Hermione just always surprised. Even as a fan of Hermione, she's always surprising me. It's just shocking to me. And how Hermione, like the moment where Lupin was just like, all right, Ron, Harry, Hermione, I'm gonna have to drop this news on you. Yeah, I'm a werewolf. And Hermione was just like, yeah, I already knew that. I was just like, what? She's just she knows everything. She's just so smart and so gifted. And she was just like, anyway, yeah, I knew. And then everybody in the room is just like, are you kidding me? What? And then I'm over here reading like, yeah, she knew. I didn't know, but she knew. And that was great too. Hermione is so smart, and she had known, and she kept it a secret, and she was just like, I should have told everyone, cause you're a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy. He's awesome. And then that moment, like I said, there were some tears involved with this book. When they won the Quidditch Cup, I was tearing up with joy, and then tearing up with sadness and joy when Black and Harry had that moment. When they mentioned that Black was Harry's godfather, and I knew Black was a good guy, I was like, this is it. If all things go right, Harry could end up living with Black and starting a bond with Black. And when Harry and Black had that moment towards the end of the book, where Black was just asked Harry, "Do you want to live with me? I'm your godfather. I understand if you don't want to. I know you have a family." And Harry was just so like he didn't know what to say. It I definitely teared up a lot, and I had to stop reading for a second. I was just like, it hit me right here. It hit me right here, audience. It definitely made me tear up. That was definitely the saddest and most beautiful moment of the book so far. And then Pettigrew had to ruin it. No, Lupin actually ruined it. But Pettigrew could have, sat still for a little bit, and so they could clear Black's name. But that's not what happened, and they never caught him. So that's not what we got. We're gonna get Harry with the Dursleys again. By the way, I haven't started the next book. I ordered it, so it's coming in the mail. I actually ordered the whole series. It's gonna be a huge box set, so I won't have to wait anymore. And I know the next one's like 800 pages, somewhere around there. It's gonna be a big book, so it'll take me, depending on my work schedule, it'll take me about a week and a half. Anyway, back to the review. Hermione time traveling was just like, can Hermione do everything? She's all knowing, and now she can time travel. Apparently, that was just like when Hermione was just like, by the way, Harry, I can time travel. I was just like, she's great. She's great. Just keep stacking her with the abilities because she deserves it. She earned those abilities and she deserved it. And she worked her ass off in this book without a doubt. She definitely worked hard in this book. She had done so many classes and she definitely worked hard, and that's actually how she got her time travel ability, which it's not really an ability, an item, but still, I thought that was impressive for her, and that was awesome. One of the best moments to the book. I'm not a huge fan of time travel in stories. It's just a lot going on with time travel. But when Hermione was just like, "Hey, I can time travel," I was just like, "You're such a beautiful character." But that was great. And like I said, Black not being able to clear his name definitely hit me right here. I think I teared up on that moment too. And Harry's not gonna be able to get that moment, that time with Black that was lost. Oh man. And then towards the end, when the class ended, Gryffindor House Cup winner again. Anyway, that like I said, that's just like a side note again, as always. And then that letter that Black sent to Harry. By the way, I got you that firebolt, and I was so happy to see you win the House Cup, and I was just like, he was there. That made me tear up too. Definitely, I think I actually had a tear come down. When I tear up, my eyes get a little watery. It's a little sad. I'm just like, sucking in the tear. I couldn't do that with this one. That one definitely hit me pretty hard. And then, the bird thing got to live. Sorry to disrespect that name like that. But I forgot the name of the bird thing. But the bird thing got to live, and it's living with Black. And then Black was the one who got him the firebolt. It made me so sad. And yeah, I have a top 3 character list now, and Dumbledore's not in it. Actually, surprisingly, to start this series off, Dumbledore is my favorite. And then towards the end of the first book, it was a toss-up. Dumbledore, Hermione, they were right there, uh, right there. And then Hermione, kind of like that, because Hermione's the goat. Dumbledore's still a great character in my top 4. But I now have a top 3 list. Obviously, Hermione is leaps and bounds ahead of Lupin in second, and then Black. The moments with Black and Harry are just. I want more of that. If I can get more of that throughout, probably in maybe the 4th book or the 5th book, for a lot more of that, I would love it. It's great stuff. And like I said, this is my favorite book so far. A lot of people have hyped up the 4th book. The Goblet of Fire, I believe, is the next one. They've hyped it up. They've always told me, every Harry Potter fan has said that's their favorite movie, that's their favorite book. So, The Prisoner of Azkaban is probably not going to be my favorite for long, but as of right now, I freaking love that book, and it's definitely going to a special place on my bookshelf. But that's my favorite book, and I'm excited to read The Goblet of Fire. And then I've heard some negative things about it. Not like negative review wise or like that's not a good book, but some very sad moments. But go ahead and punch that like button, give that subscribe button a hug. Thank you for watching. Till next time.